Okay, guys, so it's that time again when we talk about yield nodes. Now, if you've been following my channel for any length of time, you'll know that I keep talking about yield nodes every couple of months, usually when we receive a newsletter or if there's any major updates in terms of movement and what's going on with yield nodes. Nothing really does happen. So usually these updates are only when there's a newsletter, being sent. That's what we're going to talk about in this video, the newsletter. And again, I'm going to share my thoughts on what I think's happening and what I think will happen in the future. Looking at my balance here, you can see I've currently got 6,704 euros masternoded, 2,679 of which is profit, which means I've invested roughly 4,000 euros. Now, many people seem to think that because I've got this YouTube channel where I talk about cryptocurrency and investing and DeFi and Web3 and all these things, and I put money into some of these projects, that, I've got a lot of money and I can afford to lose money and it's no skin off my nose and, let's just move on to the next. And that's simply not true. That money that is sat in this yieldnodes account would help me out in my life at this current time, no end. I've got a lot of things going on in my life. I've just had a death in the family that's costing me a lot of money personally. It's cost me a lot of stress and emotional anguish, but it's cost me financially and it will continue to do so. So that money that I've got there would help me out no end. Will I ever see that money? Unlikely. But I've got to keep trying, I guess, like everyone has, to try and get at least something back from yield nodes. Now, what I think will happen is yield nodes will keep releasing these newsletters every couple of months and they'll keep dragging out, what's happening, and they'll keep putting back the launch date of Yield Nodes Pro. And with each passing month, each passing newsletter, more and more people are just moving on from the project and forgetting about it and just letting that money sit in their Yield Nodes account. They basically accepted the fact that they've lost it. And I think personally that's what yield nodes are hoping for. They're hoping for more and more people to either cash out their balance via way of an NFT, which I don't think you can do anymore anyway, those NFTs being pretty worthless as it is, or they're hoping that people will just like put it down to bad experience and move on. That's what I think is happening. I think they're just waiting for more and more people to leave the project, and then at some point they might pay out people. They might launch Yield Nodes Pro and they might allow people to take out their investments, but it'll only be those people who are left, and that might not be many people at all. That's one option. That's probably the best outcome we could hope for in terms of yield nodes. The other option is that Yield Nodes Legal will successfully manage to bring a class action against them and sue them, and again, some of us may get all or some of our money back, or we might not. Who knows? That would probably be, of the two options, Yield Nodes Pro launching and some people being able to take the money out, or Yield Nodes Legal successfully suing Yield Nodes and people being able to get some of their funds back. Of those two options, I think the legal option is probably the one most likely to happen, but I think both options are unlikely to happen, in my personal opinion. But we've got to keep trying. Now, looking at the newsletter, the latest newsletter, it's just the same old stuff again about how, you need to have patience, and the progress of yield nodes is being halted because we're facing several regulatory challenges that need to be addressed before we can move forward. Navigating the legal landscape, particularly in the cryptocurrency space, takes time. Our legal team is diligently working to ensure our masternoding project meets all necessary compliance requirements, making it a strong and reliable opportunity for all of you. We want to reassure you that our masternoding activities remain active. Transparency is one of our key priorities, and we encourage you to regularly check the members area to view nodes and coins we manage. So looking at the members area, if we come back to here, and we can see on the menu here, we've got audit coin reserves. These are all the coins that they're currently masternoding, none of which I've heard of. 777, AZR, BECM, BIR, CFL, DAS, whatever they are, ESK. I've never heard of them. The only one that I've heard of is SAPP, SAP, Sapphire coin, which was one of the Decenemy coins. I believe all of these are Decenemy coins. I've not looked into it as of yet. I will look into these tokens, but I believe, from what I've read, that all of these are Decenemy coins, Decenemy being owned by the same group or the same company that owns Yield Nodes. So basically they've took our masternoded money, the money that we invested in Bitcoin. They've taken that Bitcoin and then they purchased all of these coins, their own coins. And again, not my words, but from what I've read, the profits from those tokens, when the price of those tokens rise, the profits have been used to pay back investors. So the monthly return on investment we was getting here wasn't from Bitcoin masternodes, but it was from the growth of the tokens that they'd invested into, until such point as there was no growth and there was no profits because the coins started slumping like everything did in the market a couple of years ago. Again, like I said, this is not my words. This is information that I've read. I will leave links down below to these articles where I've read this, and you know, you can read it on Reddit as well. This is kind of what's happened. But just looking at the masternoded tokens, I mean, what are they? Would these be tokens you'd invest into anyway? Would you rather invest into Ethereum, Matic, AVAX, Bitcoin, or AZR, BECN, BIR, CFL? What is this? Why are we putting millions of dollars, investors' dollars, into these coins that nobody's ever heard of? It's just ridiculous. But anyway, getting back to the newsletter. They talk about the path to recovery. A significant part of our recovery will depend on community support. Well, the community is diminishing day by day, week by week, month by month. More and more people are walking away, which personally I think is what yieldnodes wants. They want people to walk away and forget about it, and just, you know, leave their investments. We believe that a positive community sentiment plays a crucial role. They haven't really got a positive community sentiment. You just need to look at the Discord to see how many people are upset with yieldnodes, and the ones who speak the loudest are the ones who get banned from the Discord anyway. We humbly ask you for your patience and ongoing support as we work through this. We understand that this journey has been long and challenging. Yeah, it couldn't be any longer, but it will be longer because it'll keep going on and going on and going on. But we're laying the foundation for something strong and lasting. We shall see. The chain analysis lawsuit is still ongoing because Chain Analysis, if you don't know, it's a web auditing company, DeFi Web3 auditing company, said a couple of years ago that yieldnodes was a scam. In fact, I think it was listed as number 2 in the biggest scams of the year. And yieldnodes took exception to that and sued Chain Analysis. So that lawsuit is still ongoing. Whether that will come to fruition, I doubt it, but we'll see. They'll keep mentioning it here. NFTs, on the NFT side, most issues have been resolved. However, we understand that some of you are still experiencing problems with missing or unissued NFTs. To address this, we've set up a direct ticket system to assist you with lingering concerns. Apparently, people have raised tickets and not had responses. So make of that what you will. And then there's an email address here as well. You know, a lot of people did obviously swap their yieldnodes balance for the NFT, and some have tried to sell NFTs. I think some have sold NFTs for 10% of the balance. So if they had a £50,000, 50,000 euro balance on the NFT, they might have got 5,000 euros for it. Not many people successfully managed to sell them, I don't believe. And most people have still got their NFTs sat on some NFT selling website that, you know, they just sat there and not really doing anything. And then we finish off with the same old lines of patience and trust. We know we're asking a lot in terms of patience and resilience, but please understand that we're privately funding yieldnodes operations ourselves. Yeah, and so you should, because you're funding that with profits no doubt gained from yieldnodes anyway. But who else is going to pay for this? Us? No, of course you should pay for it. You're the guys who set up this project in the first place. You're the guys who've made millions from it, whilst we have obviously lost our funds, or we've got our funds frozen. You guys have made millions from it, and we know this because we've seen the assets that some of you guys have bought personally. So why shouldn't you be the ones who are funding it? Of course you should. That's a no-brainer. It's in our best interest to run as efficiently as possible. As the saying goes, trust is built with consistency. We remain committed to delivering on our promises, but it does take time. Yeah, well, how much time have we got, guys? Because I'm getting older, you know, my hair's going grayer and falling out. Family members are dying around me, and no doubt around other people. How long do we wait? Because, you know, we cannot wait indefinitely for something to happen. And I think that's what yieldnodes are hoping, that people will wait indefinitely and eventually get fed up and just leave and not take it any further. I think that's what's happening here. You know, we see so many false promises from yield nodes in every single newsletter. We see so many false promises about what's coming, what's coming, what's coming, and nothing ever happens. Nothing ever comes. Let me just show you this newsletter here. This was from the 29th of February 24. And it says here that we are currently in discussions with 2 of the big 4 accounting firms to serve as our public auditors. This collaboration is crucial as it will bring an additional layer of credibility and confidence to our project. However, aligning with such esteemed partners and finalising the preparatory steps means that we need to adjust our timeline. We expect to have the new auditor in place and for them to commence their audit in Q2. So Q2's been and gone, Q3's been and gone. Well, it's going to be gone as of tomorrow. Then we'll be starting Q4, and we've not seen this big 4 auditor or this audit take place, unless I've missed it. If I missed it, someone leave a link down below where I can see this audit. But this is the kind of thing that we get every single newsletter. This is coming, and it's going to be coming then, and then it gets to then, and then they have to push it back for whatever reason. I mean, this one not even addressed this again. I think they've not addressed this since 29th of February 2024. Now, speaking of audits, I've said it in nearly every video, and I'll say it again in this video. I don't know why. What did he say about the definition of insanity? It's doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, but I don't know. I'll say it again. Back in July, I think it was 21. Was it 21 or 22 when our assets was frozen, when yield nodes kind of ceased operation? Whatever year it was, anyway, there was an audit took place in July, and in October of that same year was when yield nodes kind of froze our assets and stopped operation, if you like. And that audit was attended to by the likes of James Pelton, Chris McCauley, 2 super big YouTubers here who talk about crypto and DeFi and Web3 and all that stuff. And they said that they'd seen all the assets that yield nodes have, and that they've got loads and loads of assets, and they've got tons and tons of Bitcoin, and they've got, you know, the ability to pay back all investors and still have lots and lots of profit. They said all this crap in their videos. And then since yield nodes froze all our assets and stopped operation, they've just disappeared. They no longer talk about yield nodes. They don't make any mention of yield nodes. In fact, they've removed all content from their channels and all tweets. James Pelton has blocked me on Twitter, X, because I've asked him questions that he obviously doesn't like being asked. Chris McCauley, I've reached out to him, not heard back from him either. But where are these guys now? Stefan, please tell me, where are these guys who was the biggest supporters of yield nodes and who attended that audit and said that yield nodes is the real deal? Where are they now? And that's all I need to know that this is just one big pile of crap, because these 2 guys who just made thousands, no doubt, off the promotion of yield nodes and off any compensation from yield nodes, whether that was profits that they'd made from their own investments or whether that was referral profits from referring all of their viewers to yield nodes, they probably made thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and now they haven't got the decency and the balls to address the issue with their own viewers and supporters and say, guys, you know, this is what's happened and I'm terribly sorry. And, you know, I seen all this stuff when I was at the audit and it all looked legit to me. They've not even said that. They've not addressed it. And I don't expect either of them to say anything, because that's not what they're about. They're just about making money on YouTube from their viewers on YouTube and from investments into projects or for being paid to promote projects. But I want to know from Stefan why these guys are no longer involved with yield nodes, why these guys are no longer talking about it. What are your thoughts on it, Stefan? Why do you think these people no longer want anything to do with yield nodes? I'd just be interested in what you've got to say, you know, because if yield nodes pro is so promising, why are these people who were involved before and were singing its praises, why are these people no longer invested and no longer pushing, promoting, helping, assisting with you and yield nodes? I don't understand it. I've no doubt that you formed some kind of friendship or business relationship when they attended the audit. So, you know, what's going on there? I'd love to know. Anyway, that's it, guys. If you've got any comments, feedback, questions, whatever, leave them down below. Better still, come and join my Discord server. There's a link down below to that as well. And we talk about all sorts of stuff, whether it's yield nodes, whether it's Web3, DeFi, cryptocurrencies, meme tokens, Bitcoin, whatever, come and join the Discord server and we can chat some more over there. Until then, I'll see you again next time.